Welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there are other mediums on which you can enjoy this content. But my favorite one is the blog. And the blog is parked at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. And I know that's a lot to remember or to type in, so wherever you are engaging with this content, look for a prompt of more info, intro, description, something of that nature. Click on it. Another box opens. And as a matter of fact, I could show you. And then, well, this is YouTube. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I'll show you in a minute. So, anyway, so thank you for everything. Hitting the likes. It really helps. And I got some new subscribers too. All right, so today's going to be short. There's not a lot, well, there's a lot of news. There's always a lot of news, right? But nothing really. It's like political, other countries that are like adjacent to Iraq, and I'll show you that really quick. Yeah, so we're going into the weekend, and we'll see. Okay, but the banks. It's Friday, September 12th. Yeah, and this should upload for the 12th also. All right, so this article yesterday, if you didn't see yesterday's episode, I know I always joke and say, well, why didn't you? But it was called I should have said IraqiDinar watchers, speculators driving the dollar up again. See why. So say that you're on YouTube or your device or whatever, and you see more. You click more. But the reason why I'm telling you that is there's two banking articles that came out yesterday. See right there? So it would be 1147 Iraqi bank reforms. And if you click that, I believe it will take you right to the video. Or if you don't see this, go all the way down. And then there's two little video snippets right there. Then you would click that and it would take you right in the video where I'm talking about the bank reforms. So, and the reason why I think you should see them, if you did not, is because this article is like a culmination of all three. The state banks, the private banks, and the Islamic banks. So if you didn't see it, just to like kind of catch you up really quick, all the banks have agreed that they will all do the banking reform, even the ones that were struggling. If you're new or you just don't remember, mid to late August, an article came out that said the Iraqi banks had to either comply, merge, or liquidate. And there were some banks that were really struggling that they weren't able to do any of those. So, but magically something happened. Well, we gave them 30 days. We being, the U.S., probably the Treasury. So, okay, we'll give you 30 days more. So the 30 days goes to September 30th. So they either have to do one of those things by September 30th. But the article came out yesterday that said, don't worry, all the banks are going to qualify by the 30th. They're all going to do the banking reform and they're all going to qualify. Now, so I put central bank versus time. Iraq's banking sector faces its moment of truth. So, but the real title is Banking Reform Enters a Decisive Phase. Oh, let me turn this little fan off. You probably could hear it, huh? The central bank and banks are in a race against time, and it's urgent. At the time that it was released, it was urgent. If you go to this link right here, it probably won't say urgent anymore, but that's okay. So it says to avoid penalties. So it's really long, so I can't read it all to you. It would probably take 20 minutes and half of you would fall asleep. And I know this because some of you tell me, oh, I listen to you to fall asleep. And that's great. I'm glad because we need sleep. But, all right, so I will read. So here's the first paragraph. The Iraqi banking sector is going through a critical phase where economic and financial considerations intersect with the demands of structural reform that have been postponed for years. After decades of challenges and amid international and local pressure to improve the efficiency of the financial system, the reform paper launched by the central bank in coordination with an international consulting firm emerged as an attempt to rebuild trust and establish more robust rules for banking operations. The importance of this issue goes beyond the financial dimension. It extends to the broader institutional context related to the state's ability to formulate economic stability tools and meet transparency requirements, which in turn are linked to the confidence of investors and international donors. So it appears this was written by this gentleman here, Ahmed Abdul Rabo. Yeah, and he spoke. The end of September will be the deadline for private banks to sign the final amendments to the reform paper submitted by the CBI in coordination with Oliver Wyman. I know it says something different, but that's a translation. This timing reflects the central bank's awareness of the country's need to end the period of hesitation and embark on a clearly defined reform path. According to institutional estimates, setting a timetable for signing aims to overcome the procrastination that accompanied the first rounds of dialogue with private banks and transform reform from a theoretical idea into a practical commitment. So see, there's the time. And, I know in the past, it's like whatever, right? They've just blown through time restraints, but there's this time restraint for that oil, the oil in the Turkish pipeline, and then they're running up against the elections. And so, yeah, definitely Sudani will not be here for these general UN meetings. And so I had a thought, I'm just thinking, Sudani is doing a lot. And maybe our president or our administration was like, no, you don't need to come to these meetings. You need to stay and finish up all this business. So hopefully that's what it is. So if you just read one article, there's only like 9 articles posted here today. If you just go and read one, it should be this one. In fact, I wonder, you probably could copy and paste it in one of those AI things, and I bet you they would read it to you. But anyway, all right, so yeah, so see, they have the essence and dimensions of the amendments, timing and objectives of reform, reform as a barrier to sanctions and corruption, upcoming challenges and implementation prospects. So the coming weeks will witness ongoing negotiations and coordination between the central bank and private banks to ensure all parties agree on implementing reforms smoothly and effectively. Then they'll be able to stand up to the challenges of economic fluctuations. So there you go. It's really good. You should read it. All right. Then this one. I think yesterday there was an article saying that Sadani has a golden opportunity. I believe there was. Sadani has a golden opportunity to repair the relationship. Remember that? Between he and us? Okay, so then now, Hoshyar Zabari. Oh, sorry for those who are just listening. We've moved on to the next article. Iraq has golden opportunity to rise and progress, says former foreign minister. And I don't know how to say his first name. That's how I say it. Hoshyar. Hoshyar Zabari cites relative calm, encouraging more investment, as well as positive change across the region. So if you read this, what he's saying is, and he did, Sadani has conferred, I guess, with him. He's brought him in his meeting and they've talked. I hate to say that. They've had a discussion about what I don't know. I mean, there was an article, but I'm sure the article wasn't telling the full details. And then he met the other day with Alawi. I forget Alawi's first name. And he's also a former, if he's not a former prime minister, he's a former member of parliament for sure. I know. So I'm wondering if he's consulting with them or maybe reaching out for help so he can get his second term. But the golden opportunity is to complete the investigation of, remember in Kurdistan, those tones, phones, scones. There's a word that rhymes with those. Put a DR in front of, right? There still hasn't been a closure. They haven't said who did it, right? Remember they transferred over all the data, their investigation file that they had, and they were like, yeah, we know where those scones, phones, and microphones came from. We know whose they were. And so the article yesterday was saying the opportunity that he has is to rat those people out, right? Basically, that it would show good faith, I guess, to us if he would give the names of who did that. And thus far, he has not. And so Zabari is like, dude, what are you doing? Why aren't you telling them, right? You got the information. And, so he's saying you're in a period of relative calm, most since like 2003. There's been decades of aggressive conflict. UN imposed economic sanctions, corruption, and mismanagement that derailed growth in Iraq, despite it being the second largest producer in OPEC. Iraq is moving on many fronts. This year, Iraq is having national elections to elect a new government, said Zabari. Economically, it is inviting foreign investors primarily because there's been better security throughout the country. There are fewer, disturbances and, let's see, I don't want to say this. Less spontaneous combustion that leads to humans leaving the land of the living. Okay, yeah. So he's like, yeah, this article's full of things I can't say, but he's telling him you should go on and take that golden opportunity. There's a positive change in the land. You already worked out the decision about the PMF people. Then here they're saying regional power dynamics have shifted sharply over the past year. So it's like this one little bit. Well, there's probably two other things they want done. Total cutoff from the banking sector. But if they say who did this, and the guy, Miles B. Kagan the third, right? Remember he said he wants them punished swiftly and to the full extent of the law. And so Sadani's probably like, I don't know if I want to do that, right? So that's what this article is, and it's good, but it just goes to show he really is in a hard place, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, now moving on. Parliamentary Services explains the reasons for the delay in the budget schedules and rules out its arrival in Parliament. Yeah, we know, but they put it out again today. So I just wonder if they're talking about it, are they trying to work on it? And it says, we have repeatedly requested the budget schedules be sent, but they have not yet arrived. With the election campaign set to start in the coming days, you see, the schedules are not approved. There will be no budget until 2026. So I'm going to take this time to tell you, I haven't given up. I'm giving them till the first week of October. But if the rate doesn't change by the first week of October, more than likely we're going into next year. And I'll tell you, because they're going to do the elections, no matter who wins, they're already saying they're going to contest them. Unless the people can be paid off or something will be done. This is the first year they're not using the blue ink. If you don't know, it's purple or blue, one of the two. They have traditionally voted with their fingertip, fingerprint. So they would dip their finger in the ink and put their finger on the paper. Now, was there still cheating? Who knows? Probably, but who knows? But that blue ink gave them a sense of not, right? And then you walked around for probably a week till the ink fully was removed, right? And then people saw, oh, you voted, but they're not going to do that this year. So people already are saying they're not going to trust the results because of that. They already are saying these new machines malfunction in the heat. And one other thing, there was one other reason. People are probably going to contest the results. Now, when they do that, when they contest the results, it doesn't take like 6 months like we do here, It takes a reasonable time, but it's because the timing, the elections are November 11th. So that would put them December, which the last 2 weeks of December are, even though we celebrate, well, think about Hanukkah is being celebrated, Christmas is being celebrated. Now, I don't think there's any like Muslim thing or Islamic things, but Iraq goes crazy. All kinds of fireworks and everything during, they do New Year's, they do New Year's big. Like, I mean, you can't even imagine. So they get time off from work, everything. So the last 2 weeks of December, everything slows down. But also, keep in mind, when they devalued, it was the last 4 days. It was either December 19th or December 24th when they did it. So there's still, I'm at the point, I'll say 2% chance that we see this year. So sorry, but I just want you to be prepared. I know, and guess what's going to continue to happen? People are going to continue to get laid off. People are going to continue to get sick and need medication. People need to eat. So I'm telling you this because I want you to be prepared. And if you've lost a job, find a way to get a job or a business. But anyway, I'm not going to go there because I could go off on that. But yeah, it's so I'm still holding on for the last week of October, especially with them getting the 30-day extension for the banks, so September 30th. But if it's not done by October 11th, which is 30 days before the election, then yeah, we're done. All right. So I hate to tell you that, but that's what I do. I try to keep people sane, grounded, off the roller coaster, whatever terminology you want to use. That's what I do. Okay. So here's another. This is Mashadani. He's an economic expert. I think he's a doctor, a PhD also. So he is talking about Iraq's single source income threatens an economic crisis, but at least he says within years, right? He's not saying right away, but they're not going to be a single source of income for years. So just letting you know that, again, they have to speak on what they have right before them. All right, here's another one. Now, I haven't seen an article from this guy in a long time, nor have I seen him on TV. So, but economic expert, the deterioration of the international security situation will negatively impact global economy in general and the Iraqi economy in particular. So look at that. He's like, hey, if Iraq goes down, everybody's going down, right? But again, he's looking at everything that's happening, geopolitical events. Oh, yes, because see right here, the one starts with U, one starts with the R, and that whole thing. And now Poland is pulling up troops. I think Romania is gonna try to do something also. Yeah, so pay attention. What was I gonna tell you guys? Oh, today at the UN General, there's this thing. It's called something to do the New York Agreement, but what it is a two-state. Oh, what is that thing they've been trying to do since the 70s? Two-state something. There's another word, solution. Two-state solution. Like a lot of the countries signed on. And I'm like, yeah, we're down for that. So that is a major point in not the RV. It has nothing to do with the RV, but just the world in general. So you can look that up if you want to, if you want to learn about that. And then stuff going on with China and us, there's just so much going on. All right. So here's my one commercial if you'd like to support, and thank you for those who have my FX buddies. When this blog is live, this Buy Me a Coffee link is live. Cash App is always live, $ TISHWASH, and then there's a thank you button now there. So if you want to just stay in YouTube, some people like to just do everything in YouTube. Look for the thank you button and you could do that too. So big or small, I appreciate it all. And I thank you in advance for your generosity. Ding! Okay, this is pretty neat. This is another moving forward technologically, whatever, right? Advancing in technology. Asia Cell, which is one of their major cell companies over there, they're going to be initiating voice over Wi-Fi. So you can make phone calls like, I guess, I don't know, because I don't do that. But, yeah, I know there's certain apps that we use where you call over the internet, right? So they have that now, and they're saying it'll be really good outdoors. Oh, no, sorry, indoors. They'll have Wi-Fi coverage. Okay, yeah, especially indoors. But they're saying even in places where there's bad connection, you'll still be able to use it. And it's called Wi-Fi or VO Wi-Fi. I'm not sure. But it says we developed this service to meet the needs of our users in different locations and to offer them clearer calls without any hassle. So I think Skype was over the internet, right? But that's gone now. So this is just another article here from a different economic expert saying non-oil revenues disrupt Kurdistan employee salaries, disputes referred to the state council. Oh, and did you see the Texas governor did something, he banned a type of law. Yeah, you should go look that up. I had no idea there was a need for that because our laws are supposed to be the only law in the land. But some of these, there's some communities that are growing and they're doing their own, they brought their laws with them and they're not very nice, especially on the women folk. And yeah, so he did, I guess, an executive order or whatever, so you could look that up, but I'm not going to say the word. Maybe some of you know. So I was looking to see, I thought it said a time frame reflects the complexity of the negotiations, now requires a legal framework to define the obligations. No, I guess there's not a time frame. Well, yeah, so they'll be looking at that. That is definitely going on. That's the non-oil revenue that Kurdistan has to give to Baghdad. All right. So there are some people here from Iraq, but I think this is NATO. NATO appoints an Iraqi figure to a high-level position. So remember I was saying it looks like we're pushing away Sadani and NATO's like, hey, come on over here, right? Oh, here I put that same article twice. Or no, this is a different one. Oh no, it is. I'll delete that. So we don't need to go over that. So we might be. Oh, look at that. U.S. president to have dinner with Qatari prime minister. I guess he's trying to make up. Yeah, I know I let my buddy drop some kablooies on you. But can I make it up to you? But they didn't have it at Mar-a-Lago. They had it at the New Jersey whatever. And there's a lot supposedly that they're going to discuss. But it probably already happened. And then here's good old the Houthis. Yeah, they're still dropping kablooies on ice cream land. So I just thought I'd put that there. All right, so that's it. Yep. So it's Friday. So again, if I don't post, I don't expect any news, but that doesn't mean anything. Sometimes they surprise me. But on the weekends, because a lot of them are out for meetings. Sadani went to Doha. He left and he's in Doha, and they're having a meeting this weekend to talk about, the events that transpired. And yeah, so, but if there is something worth post, I definitely will post on Sunday. Maybe not tomorrow, but I'll do a post, on that other part, the community post. I'll say, oh, there's nothing worth posting, so I'm not going to post. But yeah, so thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you, new subscribers. Thank you, even RSS.com, new listeners. Yeah, don't get down. Just hang in there. I know, but this is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Okay? All right. Thank you. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you are indulging in this content. And until next time.